on this edition of Cronkite Sports Report.
The Suns' run, reflecting on the 30th anniversary of a historic chase for the NBA title.
One high school coach shows there are no limits to what you can do, how he's inspiring others.
A mighty swing. One golfer takes an unconventional route to become the best.
And a former professional dancer teams up with an athletic brand to help those with diabetes.
Plus, a legendary UFC fighter looks back on his life and career.
These stories coming your way now on Cronkite Sports Report. Hello, and welcome to Cronkite Sports Report. I'm Nikki Pica.
And I'm Ryan Blank. We appreciate you joining us. This season marks the 30-year anniversary of the Suns going to the NBA Finals. And while Phoenix ultimately came up short of a championship,
the run still had a tremendous impact on the city of Phoenix. Cronkite Sports reporter Michael Donahue reflects on the team's legacy 30 years later.
It's the Suns and the Chicago Bulls in Game 6.
Game 6, 1993. With the Suns leading 98-96, John Paxson drained a three in the final seconds to give the Bulls their third straight championship and bring an end to a dream season for the Suns, who fell 2 wins shy of reaching basketball's pinnacle.
Chicago Bulls have 3 straight NBA championships.
It was a year to remember, and it could have been climaxed with a championship and wasn't.
The beginning of the 1992-93 season brought dramatic change to the Suns franchise. The team moved into a state-of-the-art arena, unveiled new uniforms, and added larger-than-life superstar Charles Barkley.
I think for me, a change was needed.
Jerry Colangelo, who owned the team at the time, pulled the trigger on a blockbuster trade to acquire Barkley from the Philadelphia 76ers, hoping Sir Charles could provide the difference between a playoff team and a championship team.
We wanted to get over the hump. We just couldn't get over the hump. We felt we needed a star. When you start talking about stars, they're not necessarily available.
While much of the focus was on the Suns' success on the court, Colangelo also had his eyes on energizing downtown Phoenix.
It was pretty desolate. And it came to me very quickly that all after 6 o'clock at night or 5 o'clock at night, you could throw a bowling ball down the street and you wouldn't hit anything.
So we would come down for practice, come down for games, but as soon as practice was over, as soon as the game was over, we'd go to Scottsdale. You'd go to other places for dinner to live.
Colangelo, who grew up in Chicago, dreamed that Phoenix could one day have the Windy City's bustling atmosphere.
Under the right circumstances, this could be a vibrant place. And I believed in my heart of hearts that if we put an arena downtown, that could be one of the real factors to make this thing turn around.
The Suns set a franchise record with 62 wins. Barkley was named the league's most valuable player. Every game at America West Arena was a sellout, and Phoenix was on its way to the NBA Finals for the second time in franchise history.
The Suns win. They're the Western Conference champions, and they move on to play the defending world champion Chicago Bulls for all the marbles.
While the Suns ultimately fell short of a title, they forged a bond with the city that was on display at a parade typically reserved for champions.
We never expected this many people to show up today.
On a June day with temperatures soaring into the triple digits, 300,000 fans crammed into downtown Phoenix to celebrate a season of success.
To have all those people show up at 112 degrees, the fire department was there, and they were just taking spray hoses and pointing them straight up in the air and creating rain just to cool people off.
The parade symbolized more than the accomplishments of just one season. It laid a foundation of what the city of Phoenix and its sports could become.
And the recognition that they cared that much meant a lot to me. We had an obligation. We had a responsibility to the community and to our fans, and they put an exclamation mark on that.
And 30 years later, that 1992-93 Suns team left a mark on the city that is still celebrated today. In Phoenix, Michael Donahue, Cronkite Sports Report.
Of course, the Suns made it back to the NBA Finals in 2021 when they lost to the Bucks in 6 games.
the Suns are still looking for their first NBA title, but maybe this year will be the year. Coming up next on Cronkite Sports Report, one small-town coach is proving there are no limits to what you can accomplish on the football field and in life.
Welcome back to Cronkite Sports Report. High school football coaches across the country roam the sidelines every day, motivating their players to be their very best.
But one coach in Wickenburg, Arizona, is an inspiration above all others. Cronkite Sports reporter Ashley Engel brings us the story of the coach who knows no limitation.
Wickenburg, Arizona, a town northwest of Phoenix where assistant football coach Carter Crossland calls home, and it's here where he inspires many across town and the state of Arizona.
You know, if I can be that positive impact and that role model for somebody, I definitely want to keep doing that and make sure I'm always keeping myself right and be there for whoever needs.
Carter's love for the game of football shows through the interaction he has with players, understanding that the game is all about community.
It's such a great sport. You can learn so many lessons in football that I use every day in my job. You know, it teaches teamwork. It teaches how to push through adversity.
Coach Carter is not like the other coaches, as he was born with tetraamelia syndrome, a disorder where one is born without arms or legs. Carter moved from Utah to Wickenburg with his family back in August of 2021, and he instantly knew the town of 7,400 residents was where he belonged. On the football field, Carter is the defensive assistant coordinator and has a goal to be a head coach one day.
My focus right now is to try to learn everything and the behind-the-scenes stuff too, so when that opportunity comes, I'm ready.
In order to make it to and from the practice fields each day, Carter travels in his electric wheelchair from the opposite side of Wickenburg, taking him about 45 minutes each way.
The way he came up here and how he's always come out here every single day, no matter the heat, no matter it's raining, he comes out here in the rain, he goes and sits over there, he doesn't go home. He stays here with us through everything.
By being himself and never letting a day go by without living it to the fullest, Carter's passion towards mentoring players and always showing up despite his circumstances has inspired many.
You know, because this is my normal, I didn't really think that I was. This is me. This is who I am. This is what I do. But you know, hearing from different people in the community, since we moved down here just over a year ago, it's kind of like, okay, well, maybe I am. You know, just by being myself, I'm making a difference.
Coach Carter believes a community can shape a person's perspective not only in sports, but in life. Carter wants to continue to be a part of the Wickenburg community, as many of his coaches in the past have instilled those special life values in him.
I want to kind of give back to my coaches that I had 20 years ago. You know, they made it such an awesome experience for me that I kind of want to, you know, I want the kids to come out here and, you know, 20 years from now be like, man, it was awesome to hang out with Coach Carter. I learned so much from Coach Carter.
Players and coaches enjoy having Coach Carter out on the field, as they learn a lot from him and feel football wouldn't be the same without his positive spirit and determination to the game. With his story and his contagious attitude, Carter will continue to strive to teach others how we all have more similarities than differences. In Wickenburg, Ashley Engel, Cronkite Sports Report.
From the gridiron to the golf course now, where a player at Pinnacle High School is taking an unconventional approach as a student athlete.
And with the support of her family and her faith, this girl's golfer has become one of the best players in the Western United States. Cronkite Sports reporter Connor Bonfilio hits the links with this golfing phenom.
The bell rings at Pinnacle High School, and thousands of students are excused after a long day of classes. There is one athlete on the girls' golf team who hasn't been on campus all day. Sammy Olsen's been here at Pinnacle Peak Country Club. Her education looks much different than others.
I'm really lucky. I've been homeschooled all my life, and we did that before I started golfing. And when I started golfing, we saw how much a benefit it was. And technically, I'm done with all my high school classes, and I'm taking like community college classes for like the credits, so that when like I do graduate, I'll be done with like a lot of the classes that I need to take in like college.
Olsen's teammate Carolyn Fuller is familiar with home education. She learned online after a severe back injury and says competitors take advantage as well.
Online school, if you know how to manage your time well, it's honestly the way to go. There's a lot of junior golfers that do that.
Albert Murdoch's been Olsen's instructor since 2017. In 5 years, he's seen tremendous growth on and off the golf course.
I've seen a young lady go from what I call a willow tree to a pretty strong tree now. She's not all over the world with the wind blowing and everything else. Pretty solid, good golf swing, good person.
Murdoch believes that Olsen's faith and connection to God gives her an indescribable advantage on the golf course.
I don't know what it is, but it's her calmness from the inside out. Even though she's very fiery when she plays, she's still very calm. She's fiery because she knows she can do better, but she has to trust God to let her go to do it.
Sammy Olsen doesn't live the typical high schooler's life, but with the support of her family and her faith, she's taking everything one swing at a time.
God gives me the opportunity with people, being able to travel all around and meet different people, and just kind of, he puts those people in my path. And if he speaks to me and says certain things, then I listen.
This season, Olsen's played in 9 events for Pinnacle High School and won 8 of them, including a 6 under 66 finish at the state preview. Her secret to success isn't rocket science.
I just love golf. You can't do it and not love it. I just have such a love for it that it gives me that passion to go out and practice, and I think that's why I'm so good. I don't only enjoy the tournaments and winning, I enjoy grinding it out and practicing. So.
While Samantha Olsen's high school experience was unconventional, it didn't stop her from dominating the competition. In Scottsdale, Connor Bonfilio, Cronkite Sports Report.
The AIA Girls State Golf Championships wrapped up in October, and Olsen finished 4th individually.
A great way to put a cap on Olsen's tremendous high school career. Still to come on Cronkite Sports Report. How activewear for athletes with diabetes is changing the game for the better.
Welcome back to Cronkite Sports Report. Almost 30 million people in the U.S. have been diagnosed with diabetes, a disease where the body does not properly convert food into energy.
This can make maintaining an active lifestyle tricky. Cronkite Sports reporter Emily Bernstein caught up with one former dancer who explains how one clothing company is changing the game for people with type 1.
From ship to store to style, Sanita Athletics is a brand focused on designing activewear to empower women.
I truly feel that apparel more generally, and then specifically activewear, because it encourages movement, has such a major impact on the way that you show up in your day and how you feel about yourself.
Beyond looking good and feeling good, the activewear provides function for athletes with diabetes.
I can put my pump in certain places and still be active without it, me taking it off completely.
North Canyon High School Athletic Director Comfort Bean is a former dancer who brings Sanita's mission to life as a model for the company and avid customer of their clothes. Her own journey with diabetes began a decade ago and took her by surprise.
I was diagnosed at 21 years old, so I was a junior in college. I literally took an antibiotic, and I didn't know that my body was undergoing a virus, so it just attacked my immune system, and that's what kicked me into type 1 diabetes.
Getting diabetes at that stage in her life was confusing and scary, considering Bean had no family history with the disease.
I lost 25 pounds in about 7 days, and I was going in and out of mini comas. So like I said, it was scary because no one else knew in my family.
What really saved Bean was her commitment of wanting to maintain a healthy and active lifestyle. Little did she know that her dance training would prove so valuable.
To be honest with you, it's a fight every day to do the right thing by your body.
Not only does Bean keep active, but also has to watch what she eats.
The funniest thing came to my mind. I'm not going to be able to eat macaroni and cheese anymore. So that was my very first thought, but then it started to hit me.
Through all of her challenges, Bean appreciates the little things that help her navigate her new normal. And that includes Sanita's functional activewear that makes her life easier.
We're the only company that's out right now that has that collection for diabetics. And so to see some of the other girls that were around me put their meters in their sports bra, I was like, oh my gosh, that is so amazing.
This effort and what makes this collection so special. I mean, Comfort is an absolutely amazing individual, and there are so many incredible individuals living with type 1.
Bean has not let her diagnosis slow her down and wants to use her experience to empower others.
Fight the good fight and never give up on what you believe your dreams and aspirations are. Don't let anyone tell you that you cannot do anything because of this disease.
Back at the Sonita Athletics warehouse, each box of sports bras and leggings takes on a new meaning as the brand has created a community beyond the retail itself.
Just gives extra meaning to what we're doing in the community that we're creating here, and is just a huge motivator for me and for our entire team to continue to be innovative in the ways that we can serve this community and think of new products or new ways to help them on an even greater scale.
There's a whole audience out there, or a group of people that need to be heard and felt seen and still live their daily lives actively without worrying about where am I going to put this.
It's a small piece of comfort for athletes like Bean that can mean so much. In Phoenix, Emily Bernstein, Cronkite Sports Report.
Still to come on Cronkite Sports Report. A retired MMA fighter looks back on his life and career. Welcome back to Cronkite Sports Report. It was one of MMA's most memorable fights. 20 years ago, Don Frye took on Yoshihiro Takayama in a fight so intense, even the ref had tears in his eyes.
Yes, Frye, who lives in Catalina, Arizona now, says he lost a part of his soul after that fight. Now long since retired, Frye reflects on his storied career and the highs and lows of his life, as told to Cronkite Sports reporter Ruby Aurora in his own words.
I had more fun than not. I've had a hell of a good time. Been a hell of a party, you know. So I'm gonna sit here and feel sorry for myself and try and bum everybody out. Shit happens. You either kills you or you get on with life.
Don Frye as a competitor, when you look at Don Frye's legacy, I don't think there will be another human that you can simply say, look at his fight against Takayama, because that is still the #1 most viewed combat match in history right now. He's not going to tap out. He's not going to submit to you. Don Frye will let you kill him before he will stop.
I started drinking, I was in the 5th grade. I was molested a few times when I was a kid. That'll make you a little angry. It'll make you or break you, you know. I got lucky, you know, it made me, give me something to stay angry about and motivate. You get to the front line real fast, you know. Fans treat you good. You know, it's nice to be able to see someone put a smile on their face just by saying hi to them, you know, shaking their hand, listening to them for a couple of minutes, you know. And it's nice to be able to make somebody happy, something simple.
I've been around him to see him when he's coming off his scripts, to where, you know, you can see, you're like, oh, you can almost see this alter ego. He's in pain, and he's trying to numb the pain, whether that's with this chemical, or was that with that chemical being washed down with some alcohol at the time.
Stay away from the booze and the drugs. You know, just work through the pain properly, you know, properly. You can't mask it, you know, when you mask it, it's there, and you just keep making it worse, you know. You gotta take the time off to heal properly. And if they tell you, you know, they moved on, they got somebody else, oh well, so be it.
He probably got married too soon. He probably should not got married at the time, or because he was married at the time and what he was doing was one thing, but it did not mesh well for the lifestyle of going to be a professional fighter.
The ex-wife, she'd be loving and caring in front of everybody, and we were alone. You just aren't the man you used to be. Not as tough as you used to be. You don't have the pain tolerance you used to have. You're not a man anymore. And then their kicker is when she says, "I don't think you could provide for the family anymore." Okay, there's the truth. Yeah, count your own money. Don't trust your agents. Agents are scumbags too.
I have met some wonderful individuals in that industry, but the industry as a whole, oof, I would flush it right down the toilet because of all the ne'er-do-wells, misfits, nitwits, nincompoops, parasites. How many more negatives can I come up here with right now? But I mean, I'm probably doing an understatement of what it really is.
A lot of good memories. I got 2 beautiful daughters who take good care of me. I got a beautiful bulldog and 2 beautiful horses. Got some good friends.
Don Frye will be remembered forever. Don Frye lived life based on his terms.
Frye estimates he's had 45 to 50 surgeries over the years to fix the injuries he suffered during his career.
The Predator, as he was known, was inducted into the UFC Hall of Fame in 2016. That's all for this episode of Cronkite Sports Report. I'm Ryan Blank.
And I'm Nikki Pica. On behalf of everyone involved, thank you for tuning in.